Greetings, Jedi traders. David here of TradingFibs.com to bring you the daily trend for week 14, day 1. It is April 3rd, 2017, the start of Q2 of the year. As always, seek financial advisement when trading with your money, as these videos are for educational purposes only. To support your knowledge in the market, see what's going through my head on any given day. Always make sure you have a solid trading plan and always manage your stop when placing a trade. All right, welcome traders. Those of you who are joining us for the first time, let's spend a couple moments here going over today's trend, pockets of opportunity, and then see where market action may lead in both directions. Need to be always ready in both directions every day. Stick around. Maybe one of the charts will speak to you, and an opportunity to learn to stay in the trend just a little bit longer than 1 or 2 ticks. All right, we give it the arrow down, arrow up today as market action sweeping downside. We'll change things up for those of you that have been with us for a while. Spend a little more time on just one individual market here, and but still go overall the general numbers here for today. All right, so pre-market trend here this morning, posted about 15 minutes before the market opened. Prior to that, last night we were looking at the ES Globex already on the Sunday open. Price action on the ES, again, a little bit choppy to get that Sunday start off. Here we have the MML levels, Murray Math levels, looking upside, major support resistance, and already the market profile somewhat in balance here. Not really moving in either direction. And finally, right before the European Open, price action running up here to the major support resistance, and you got a balanced profile of the Globex value area sitting here in around 2360. All right, so that's where we were on the Globex. Wake up in the morning and take a look at our pre-market trend, and overall bottom line this week, we're really just looking for price action to make a move around this daily 50 and 10 MA. So we'll see how we did today overall. So pre-market trend, there it was. The VIX was already up slightly, 1268. Screen share was pretty much in a chop session all across the board. We got the crude, the gold, the yen, and the euro here, and we can see market action after that major support resistance push up on the ES, pulling back and hanging around already the daily and the weekly VWAP. All right, so numbers to the upside. NQ today, we were looking upside to 54.49 up to 68, and we got ourselves a high today here at 54.55, so hitting right in the numbers. And then downside, looking down to 54.05, I think is just about where we got, with a low here of 54.03 today. Let's take a look at the NQ pre-market. There it was. Price action again on the MMLs. You'll see here today that the MMLs actually reset themselves on the 15-minute chart to the downside, but I just called out the low of 54.03, so you find it on the charts here on the 4-hour chart downside. So very nice move down here on the NQ, but really 54.49 holding the high of the day, at least on the MML charts today, after making an all-new all-time high. Appreciate the TPO time profile here. Price action very balanced overnight. You can see the majority right there in the bell curve. You got some prints upside, prints downside, a couple single prints. Makes this a pretty balanced overnight session. The white line being the prior open gap, and the VPOC here at 41.75. All right, so there was our NQ overnight. ES, we're looking at 23.63 up to 23.75 upside. We got a high today here on the ES at 23.63. How about that there for the major support resistance? And downside, we were looking at 23.40, which lined up with our lower levels around the major support resistance on the 60-minute chart. So hitting it in the eyes right there around the lower numbers on the ES S&P futures. ES Globex TPO, there was again our balanced profile, value area high from the prior session. There was our point of control. And then there was our close from the prior session. Hey guys, every morning I also go ahead and give kudos out to Shadow Trader. Make sure you check out his pre-market analysis, giving overall, I like taking his commentary, putting on my own charts, makes a little bit more sense. Here we are with this poor high from the last couple sessions. So again, if price action was able to hold above this low on the overnight inventory, we might have been looking for price action to lift and take out this poor high. But that's not exactly how the market flowed today. So overnight balance was looking good. There was our Globex high. We're pretty much net long on both. So if we were able to hold above this high here around 23.57-ish, we might have been able to repair what we had was these poor highs. But that's not how it played out here today. So how do we do here today, guys? How do we do, Jedi Traders? Well, let's first follow through on the ES, as we just mentioned on the TPOs. Price action here starting to get go. This was pre-market. A little bit choppy here to get going. ES really not rolling too quickly here. And price action on the ES. Off the major support resistance. Pre-market, already have our balanced profile. There's our Globex value area. And once price action got rolling about post 30 minutes, it was the ES to the downside. And Heiken Ashibar, solid bodies, tails down. Now, what happened is the major support resistance that we had pre-market now became the reset on the 15-minute chart here on the ES. So regardless, you got yourself a downtrend on the HA bars. A little bit, a couple long tails here. Did not make it fun. If you were able to hold down once you got in the red here, kudos to you. Price action here at the resistance holds on downside. We got the downtrend and already not being able to close out those upper levels that we had mentioned, those poor highs from the prior session. So at this point, we're watching the lower lows here on March 30th trading session, and in the sights, we're watching the ADR low to the downside. So price action on the ES continues to move down here post 45 minutes. Again, that was that pre-market. Here we are post 45 minutes moving to the downside. And then finally, ES rolling all the way down to the average daily range low, plus a couple ticks downside, giving you a couple of opportunities re-entry. Again, algos seem to be at hand this morning as these quick movements, 4, 5, 6 bars in the counter trend, and then price action return back to the downside. Recommendation, always go to the higher time frame when you got these long sweeping moves. All right, so there was your ES. Nice move to the downside as the price action coming into the European close. We had a nice overall trend on all three indices downside, which gave you the opportunity on the up screen. Euro going a little bit counter trend here. Should see this in the green here, but that's not where the euro is going. And crude holding to the downside. All right, so let's jump on the NQ here for a moment. That really was the trend of the follow of the day. We mentioned the pre-market. What I want to point out here is the incredible lining up. I call it incredible, but the fact that similar story as we had there on the ES, here you have price action lift upside. That really was your first move on the NQ this morning as price action lifted here, but you're watching your market internals here on the AD line. So you got your lift to 45. Now, if you remember from last week, we had talked about how if the market hits the outlier, all right, the outlier being negative 70, 75, you could see here in the upper right-hand corner, all right, and your trend is upside, you got your 51.44 in the green, but you hit the outlier, there might be reason to think it's not a jump in right away, but you might starting to think that, you know what, maybe this thing really, the AD line's really at the outlier, this thing has a possible turnaround. That's exactly what happened last week. But today, we got this reject here at 45. This is a 5-minute chart here. Again, every 30-minute increments, we go from 1 to 3 to 5, and we stop there. The NISS nicely, we go to 10 minutes. But here you got this nice move up, capture your first trade upside. You never know where the market's going. Bang. All right, now, heads up. You're taken out. Price action pulls back. First opportunity is right here. This price action pulls underneath the cloud, and you got yourself a lineup on the 534. What is an additional confirmation on this market internal is the fact that the AD line rejected here at 45. You're watching it on a 10-period moving average as well. So you're here already at the top of the hour. Price action's breaking underneath the 10 MA, and the fact is that the NQ took out the highs here. Again, poor highs from previous sessions like we saw there on the ES. Balanced profile, and we're already starting to move down on the HA bars. That's all I needed to know. So NQ downside, and we got our sights on the average daily range low. So there we are, NQ post 90 minutes, and bang, of course, where does the NQ go? Nice sweeping drive right downside. AD line continuing in the move downside here. Takes a pause at the pivot. Again, a little bit rough here as price action got going. And if you remember this morning, this price action would have taken you out most likely. Your stop was at break even. And bang, we got 6 bars right to the upside within seconds. And so takes you out, but gives you another opportunity to get back into the downside. You got all the charts in the red now. And that's exactly where we went. Average daily range low here on the market profile. Plotted, you could plot this on a 5-minute chart as well. And NQ just rides it down. Now, what happened? NQ starts to build some value at the session low. Maybe takes you out here. Maybe you're still sitting at 51.44. Either way, I'm talking about a piece of the pie of action right here to the downside. That's all you needed. And look at that. AD line at the outlier. No other reason to just bail here. Why not? Good piece of price action. You got a couple things lining up. Negative 70.75. You got price action here at the value area low. And you got yourself the ADR low. Good enough to call it a trade for the day, and that's exactly where the NQ seemed to have found its low. And what stopped you from getting in? Maybe from over here, the fact that price action on the AD line never broke the 10 MA, 10-period moving average, until the PM session. So we built value both at the lower ticker, both at the upper ticker, and that's how we finished out the day. As the NQ, there's your solid move, opening price, closing. Overall indices, yeah, that's what they did. PM session chops at the lows with the pullback to today's open, but the indices hitting their average daily average daily range low. So there it is. Nice move on the NQ to the downside. Lifts back up together with the AD line once price action in the PM session lifted upside for a couple ticks. All right, YM, same picture here on a 10 tick. And by the way, this is on a 15 tick chart. You'll notice takes out a lot of that chop. So appreciate the fact you can always jump to the higher time frame when you get a long trend. All right, there's your YM trend downside on a 10 tick range chart. Opportunity to bring the stops to the swing size high here as price action continued downwards. Once it broke the cloud, found a little bit of stability here, consolidation, then lifted. Opening price, closing price within ticks of one another. So not a very exciting day overall. Same picture, ES downside going to the higher time frame. It was a very lackluster first 30 minutes. Really didn't get anywhere. Going to the 6-3 flex Renko. Solid body tail down. Put you on the ES to the ride to the downside. Bringing the stop up to the swing size. Kept you in downsides. We talked about the average daily range low. So there it is. The combination of the HA bars and PM session. Nice move back to the upside. All right. So finishing out the day here on the TPOs. Have prints at the bottom, prints on top. So we got split profile here with single prints down below. We'll see how the overnight session goes, where it balances some value. And the ES, again, never being able to take out those highs up there. Globex high, never being able to break. So again, same story. If you can't take out the Globex high, watch those HA bars and you got yourself a trend to the downside. One target could be the average daily range low or just manage on the way down. So we got a split here in the balanced profile. All right, let's jump into the charts. Just quickly here, point of controls on the volume profile, very balanced today. Again, you sometimes get a little bit of different picture on the volume. I prefer volume profile as it indicates where was the majority versus time traded at a certain particular number. So something you should keep in mind. Daily gaps. Again, NQ, look at that, all-time high again made today. We did that last week or the week before. Price action NQ makes an all-time high and then just turns itself downside. So weekly opening prices here indicated by the yellow dash line. So nice long hanging tail, buying the dips here, holding upside. So somehow this market's still not ready to really slide itself downside here. As we see, AD lines across the board. Remember I told you that NQ finding that Stability here at the lows, negative 70, 75, almost making a drive down here to negative 90, but finally being able to break above the 10 MA. There it was, PM session with about a couple hours to go, and that gave you your last drive to the upside. Here again, YM at the outliers, ES towards the lows here on the market. Overall, price action on the upstairs, crude and crude slid down today. Gold, yen, and the euro all to the upside as the market action on the indices continued to hold to the downside. Again, VIX closes out at 1238. Our core sector list today, 6 in the green and 19 in the red. Economic highlights you can check out on my tradingfibs.com for week 14, day 1. No major news today other than a terrorist bombing in Russia. But overall, HA bars with the market profile map. Here it is. HA bars with the market profile map together with the AD line and even the MML charts. From high to low, look at that, 54.49 from this morning. Again, I mentioned the NQ reset to the downside all the way down to 54.10. That was one of the levels we were looking at, which lined up with the average daily range low. Really nice matchup. Let me go ahead and also give a shout out to one of our trading members here on the charts today, also using a similar strategy. Here's the range chart, average daily range after the high, giving himself a target to the downside and then an opportunity from the downside back upside. So a variety of techniques that can be used using the MMLs off the lows, as we can see price action again lifted back upside. All right, so how are we doing? We got a chop, we got a downtrend back and upside. Where are we overall headed for tomorrow? NQ. Again, want to be ready in both directions. Over the weekend, I mentioned that weekly VWAP. Stick it on your 60-minute chart. You got to appreciate the fact that last week, overall trend held above the weekly VWAP. Love it, love it, love it. Right today, we regained that price action back to the upside. The NQ, you can see here, major support resistance. So watch the regain of today's highs, 54.54, and downside 54.10 as we waffle in between the two. Appreciate that. Coming up is Tuesday. Tuesday tends to be our super trend day. We'll see how that follows through. YM again, a lot of consolidation as we looked over the weekend at the major support resistance on the bigger charts. Watch upside 625, downside 469 as we roll in and still hanging around midsection here. And the ES overall 15-minute chart, watch our regain back upside 2363 all the way up to 2363.25. Downside, look for major support resistance 51 all the way downside to 43. Again, regaining a little bit of traction up here. Appreciate the dailies. NQ we mentioned in the overall big picture. Want to see what price action is going to do around the 10 and the 50. So NQ still holding upside. Good trend in play. Taking a look at the daily YM. A little bit concerned here. Major support resistance. For the trend to hold upside, got to get above these levels. Until then, bigger picture still holding downside 313. And the daily, let me get that daily here on the ES. Price action again. Thought we would lose it today, but we hold back above both the 10-period moving average and the 50-period moving average. All right, looking ahead to tomorrow as the economic calendar, price action. We're looking at the rest of the week. Couple Fed speakers spread throughout. Factory orders tomorrow, international trade, Red Star event. Watch the ADP employment and FOMC minutes, jobless claims, and then as we roll out the week, it's all about the non-farm payrolls as we roll into April. Bullish sentiment again. Watch the price action around the daily 1050. If unable to hold, we'll be looking for that pullback to those MMLs on the open gaps below. Make sure you check out the technical momentum outlook for week 14 and everyday pre-market trend posted 15 minutes. Check out Shadow Trader. Check out Ken Polcari each morning. And then for the longer term macro pick, always enjoy commentary on the weekends by my favorite Jason Kelly at jasonkelly.com. All right. Check out the trading session recap here for more information, charts, and data. For those, that's really it. Concludes an insight into the daily trend and technical momentum of the indices and key futures markets as they see them, feel free to stop by tradingfibs.com or any of my social media outlets to obtain more information. My mantra, one simple strategy, any market, any chart, any time frame will keep you disciplined. You can find me every day on Twitter at TradingFibs. And as always, I leave the crystal ball to the experts. I only watch what's in front of me and on my charts. And as always, leave your bias at the door when trading. For those of you that are interested in joining us in our community of like-minded traders seeking those highest probability setups, feel free to email me, david@tradingfibs.com. You may join us any Thursday or Fridays to view the live chart setups as they happen in the trading day. Hey guys, have yourselves a Blue Zone day wherever you may be. Good day, good night, and good trading to you.